Hey guys, welcome back to What If Twins. This is part 3 of What If Naruto is an Uchiha X Namikaze. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more.
Chapter 5. The First Step. Minato Namikaze woke up with a wide smile on his face. He really was very excited today. Some people may think why the Hokage must be so eager. The reason was simple: today he was going to teach his elder son the various ninja arts. Words couldn't describe how happy Minato was. The past 3 weeks had been some of the best weeks of his life. Naruto was now not cold towards him. He didn't hesitate to sit beside his father. He was slowly opening up to Minato. Minato knew this was his golden chance to get his son back and make up for all the times he wasn't there. He had ordered Shikaku to handle the office for a few hours, to which the Nara had said was troublesome. He would teach his son for some time and head to the office to do his duty. His wife Makoto would then continue Naruto's training. This was the plan decided by both of the parents. When Minato would train Naruto, Makoto would spend time with Itachi, and when it was her turn, Minato would take Itachi to his office. Itachi would then be taken to the park and any other place he wanted by a team of genin. Of course, the Umbu would be guarding his younger son from the shadows. After Naruto's training is over, he and Makoto would rejoin Itachi and soon Minato would join too. This way their family would be able to spend the maximum time together and Itachi wouldn't be just bored by sitting in one place. A small shiver ran through Minato's spine when he thought what Itachi would do when he was bored. Let's just say it won't be comfortable for any of them. Minato was really thankful to his wife for making his son understand and give his father a chance. Minato was quite surprised and shocked when he learned about Naruto's sensor skills. His son was indeed very talented, and with time he aimed to make his son a good man. Naruto used to smile more now these days. Makoto had trained him in accessing his chakra and now he had completely learned it. Minato still remembered the day when Naruto had made a fool out of him. The Namikaze family sat around their dining table and were eating their food peacefully, well except from Itachi, who was just munching over his poke. Minato sat in the center of the table, Naruto was on his left side and was eating his ramen peacefully. His wife Makoto was on his right side guiding Itachi how to properly eat his food, to which the young boy was showing discomfort by making angry faces. Makoto had told him about how Naruto had accessed his chakra and how strong it was. Words couldn't describe how proud Minato felt. Maybe one day both of his sons would surpass him and succeed him as the Hokage. Minato felt someone kick him a little on his feet from below the table. He looked at his wife and she was giving him the look to speak with Naruto. Understanding what his wife meant, Minato gathered his courage to speak with his son and offer him some help. "Hey, Naruto," said Minato kindly. He knew Naruto only liked to be called Naruto-chan by his mother. "Yes, Tusan," said Naruto calmly, shocking Minato. Minato's eyes were wide as saucers. He looked at his wife with a gobsmacked expression. She was looking at him with a victorious smile on her face. Naruto didn't call him Tusama as he always did, but now for the first time he called him Tusan. Minato was so much in his own dream world and was suddenly brought out of his thoughts. "Tusan, a fly went in your mouth," said Naruto bemusedly. "What?" yelled Minato and immediately rushed towards the wash basin. Minato gargled his mouth for 3 times and after a few moments walked back towards the table with a heavy sigh. How long had he kept his mouth open that a fly had got in? That was so disgusting and had left a bad feeling in his mind. Minato was quite surprised when he came towards the table and saw Itachi laughing loudly. Makoto was giggling furiously while Naruto was almost on the verge of laughing but was furiously trying not to. "Is something wrong?" asked Minato curiously. Tuchan, said Itachi enthusiastically. What is it, Itachi-kun?" asked Minato interestingly. "Itachi," said Naruto with pleading eyes, but Itachi just smirked. "Enai-chan tricked you," yelled Itachi and pointed his small finger towards Naruto. Minato's mouth was wide open in shock when he realized he, the 4th Hokage of Konoha, had been fooled by a kid. Makoto smacked her forehead. The entire joke was ruined due to her younger son, but it was still amusing. She was quite surprised when she looked up and saw a demonic-faced Minato whose eyes were burning with fire and was looking at Naruto murderously. "Naruto, you little shit," yelled Minato and went to catch his elder son. "Oh shit." A small smile came on his face as he remembered that incident. These were such moments that made him realize that his family was still together and everyone loved each other. Naruto indeed was a calm person, but he still had a prankster in him. Minato's thoughts then drifted back to his old-time friend and teammate Kushina. She too was a great prankster and had caused a lot of ruckus during their time at the academy. He could imagine Naruto wearing an orange jumpsuit and screaming how he would become Hokage if Kushina had been his mother. A small sigh escaped from Minato's lips. Reality was always different than most people wished for. He knew Kushina must have left the village on her own. She was a Kage-level shinobi, and if there had been an attempt to capture her, she would have used the Hiraishin seal on her body to call him for help. The fact that worried Minato was he could never activate that seal since the night she disappeared. He really was shocked. Had Kushina managed to remove the seal from her body? But that was impossible. But then again, Kushina was the best Fuinjutsu specialist in Konoha. Her skills were far greater than Jiraiya's. She was from the Uzumaki clan, who were masters in that art. Regardless of what was the truth, Minato knew he was left with a bad pair of cards now. The world was heading towards war and Konoha was going to be right in the middle of the shitstorm. Minato knew his son would have to participate in the war, and that thought made him more depressed. His elder son was a pacifist who hated fighting. The only reason he was becoming a shinobi was to protect his little brother and the villagers. War is hell, and the thought of losing his elder son ran a shiver through Minato's body. He looked at the sleeping form of his wife on his bed and the small form of his younger son who was hugging Makoto tightly. He couldn't even imagine what would happen to Makoto and Itachi if Naruto died in a war. Makoto would be destroyed. Minato knew she loved both her sons, but Naruto was very close to her. He was the center of her life, and if anything happened to him, then hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. The Uchiha clan were pretty much known for their vengeance. The fact that his wife was one made him more worried. Hiruzen had told him something about Uchiha activating Mangekyo Sharingan when they lose someone close to them. Makoto would destroy the entire IWA if they killed her son. And as far as Itachi was concerned, Naruto was his idol and best friend. He too would be devastated if something happened to his big brother. Minato also didn't want to lose his elder son. Despite their little differences, he still loved him dearly. He strengthened his mind and made a decision. He would train Naruto to his best abilities and will make him strong enough so he could protect himself and the others. Minato walked down the stairs of his house. He was fully dressed and had a jounin flak jacket on his chest and blue pants. He was going downstairs to wake Naruto up and start his training. "So you're ready," came a familiar voice, surprising Minato. He looked to his side and found Naruto standing at the edge of the stairs. He was wearing a black shirt with the Namikaze name written on it and green shorts. But one thing which Minato found to be surprising was that Naruto was wearing a black face mask on his face. "Why are you wearing a face mask in the morning? And how come you knew I would want to train you this early?" asked Minato curiously. "I'll answer both of your questions, but not here," said Naruto calmly. Minato looked at Naruto and understood that he wanted to talk with him. Naruto's eyes were fixated on Minato's room, and Minato clearly understood that Naruto didn't want either Makoto or Itachi to hear their conversation. He gave a nod and both of them silently started walking towards the training ground of their house. It was early morning and there was still some fog in the air that was hindering their sight. Both the father and son were walking peacefully, with neither of them uttering a word. Minato looked at his son. His silky blonde hair were falling on his face, and he had to admit his son really looked handsome with that face mask which his student Kakashi had given him. They both stopped in front of the small trees in the backyard. Naruto turned towards his father in order to talk with him. "So why are you wearing it?" asked Minato curiously. "To prepare myself," said Naruto calmly. Minato got confused. What was Naruto preparing for? Meanwhile, Naruto was facing a lot of questions that were popping up in his mind. He really wanted to make something clear to his father, and now was the time. "Father, can you answer some of my questions honestly?" asked Naruto seriously. Minato was quite surprised with the commanding voice of his son. These were the traits of a good leader. "It depends on the question you ask," said Minato calmly. "Fair enough. Is there going to be a war?" asked Naruto seriously. Minato's eyes blinked in surprise. His barely 6-year-old son was so much mature. He could have sworn Naruto knew about what was going to happen. He thought about all the possible answers he could give his son. But in the end he decided to tell him the truth. "Yes, there will be a war in the near future," said Minato gravely. "I see," said Naruto calmly. "Who told you that there might be a war?" asked Minato curiously. "It is not that hard to figure. Everyone in the village is tensed. Shinobi are always training. People are buying more weapons, you have dropped the graduation age to 7 and that is why I have to join this year. I have heard talks about other villages mobilizing their forces too. You destroyed Iwa and Kumo's armies in the previous war, so now they are coming back for us. We are soon going to fight the Fourth Great Ninja War, explained Naruto briefly. Minato was utterly shocked by his son's thorough analysis. He had gathered the entire data and had come to the conclusion. If he knew how to fight, Minato would have made him Chunin right away. Maybe his son was indeed fit for the front lines. I'm surprised, you really have thought this through, said Minato with a wide smile. Toussaint, is there no other way to stop this war? Thousands of lives will be lost if it happens, argued Naruto fiercely. I know Naruto, that is why Konoha will not start the war, but if we are attacked it is our duty to protect our village, explained Minato strictly. Can you promise me one thing, father? Asked Naruto in a very begging voice. What is it? Asked Minato curiously. Naruto never asked for something so badly. Minato was quite surprised when Naruto dropped on his knees in front of him. Don't ever involve my little brother in this war. I'll do anything, I'll even take a suicide mission if it means Itachi stays out of this war. I don't want my brother to go through that hell, said Naruto sadly. Minato was utterly shocked, words couldn't describe what he was feeling now. He knew if the war happened it could go on for years and Itachi would have to join the war too. Naruto was asking him to sacrifice him and spare his younger brother. Minato knew Naruto loved Itachi fiercely, but there was something different in his voice. It was desperate. He bent down and put a hand on his distressed son's shoulders. Naruto, do you really want to protect your brother? Asked Minato proudly. He was grateful for having such a worthy son. Yes, but you must promise me that you will not involve him in this war. I know our strength is low in comparison to the combined armies of the other villages. I know you will need every person who can fight, but just not my brother. He is too innocent. I'll go to whatever front you send me. I'll do whatever it takes, but please just don't involve him in this, begged Naruto. Is this the Uchiha's love for their precious people? Thought Minato. Minato looked at Naruto. His azure eyes were piercing his son's black eyes. Minato could see how much attached Naruto was with Itachi. This could be beneficial as well as harmful for Naruto. His desire to protect his brother would make him strong, but if something happened to Itachi then Naruto won't be able to bear it. He had to teach his son how to control his emotions, but right now his son needed a father and not a shinobi. I promise, said Minato truthfully. Thank you, father, said Naruto happily and hugged Minato. Minato was quite shocked when Naruto hugged him. It had been so many years since they had shared such a moment. He hugged his son back gently. A wide smile came on his face. He really was very proud of Naruto. Even though Naruto's behavior was a little strange, he was a good son. And the way he was willing to jump in a war just to protect his brother in the village made Minato proud as his father. I'll train you in everything I know, so you can come back to us, said Minato with determination. I'll try my best, said Naruto doubtfully. You have to promise me, have faith in yourself and your comrades, and you will make it back alive, said Minato fiercely. I promise, said Naruto slowly. Minato smiled more and both of them got up and decided to start their training. However, one thing which Minato had failed to notice that Naruto had crossed his fingers. In a small room sat 4 people around a table. The atmosphere was highly tensed and one could actually feel the presence of all these people. Inoki sat in his chair with a dissatisfied look on his small face. To his left sat the Sandaime Raikage, who too was not looking pleased at all. To their right sat 2 figures, both of them were dressed in black cloaks with red clouds on it. What an idiot, would keep a name Akatsuki, thought Inoki with a groan. One of the figures was none other than Orochimaru, the famous S-rank missing nin of Konoha and the most insane scientist in the shinobi world. He was looking at both the Kage in a very sick manner that was really not making Inoki comfortable. It was as if Orochimaru was considering them to be his test subjects. The only person who was sitting stoically in a corner was a woman with blue hair. She was the most quiet out of all them and was very relaxed, even in the presence of 3 Kage-level shinobi. How much more longer is it going to take? Asked the Sandaime Raikage in an irritated voice. Patience, Raikage Dano. It takes time to prepare an undefeatable army, chided Orochimaru in his snake-like voice. Even if we combine our armies, Konoha still has the Yellow Flash and Hiruzen Sarutobi and many more formidable ninja. They even possess the Kyuubi, said Inoki angrily. They don't possess the 9 tails any longer, said the woman calmly. What? Yelled both the Tsuchikage and Reikage in unison. Orochimaru chuckled while the woman remained stoic as usual. It is true, their Jinchuriki has deserted the village and has not returned, said the woman. How do you know this, Conan? Asked the Reikage suspiciously. We have our contacts, said Orochimaru with a smirk. This could be a golden opportunity for us, but have you mastered that jutsu, Orochimaru? Asked Inoki sternly. Ah, that wonderful jutsu. The Nittami Hokage was really a genius for inventing such a jutsu, said Orochimaru gleefully. Is he insane? Thought both the Kage. You don't need to worry about that, you will get your assistance on time. Meanwhile, have you prepared for what Pain-sama had asked Orochimaru seriously. He really didn't know why he was doing this. All he cared about was mastering all the jutsu in the world. After the Third War had ended, he was sure he would be made Hokage, but his senile old teacher made the Namikaze brat the Hokage in his place. Such insolence, he was the great Orochimaru, he could have uncovered the secrets of life and lead Konoha to glory, but that was all in the past. He realized his life was too short to fulfill his ambitions and he had to become immortal. So he defected from that pathetic leaf village after conducting all his brutal experiments. Hiruzen was not able to stop him, his old teacher was far too kind. He then joined the Akatsuki. The organization was offering a lot of money and he could use that for his experiments. Plus soon there was going to be a war and the experiments he could conduct on all the shinobi were making him more giddy. So much to learn, so much data, so much blood. He licked his lips with his snake-like tongue. Kukuku, soon I'll truly become immortal, thought Orochimaru madly. While Orochimaru was busy in his dream world, the woman named Conan had discussed the entire plan that their leader had told them to tell the Kages. So how much longer until the preparations are complete? Asked Conan strictly. A few months after that Kyumo will be ready, said the Reikage firmly. IWA will be ready to crush Konoha in 5 months. I will kill that Yellow Flash and his family for taking away my elder son and so many of my shinobi, said Inoki angrily. Minato had killed his elder son Renji in the Third Great Ninja War, he was among the thousands which the Yellow Flash had killed. Inoki could never forget what happened and he had vowed to get vengeance. Love breeds hatred and hatred leads to war. This world has indeed become corrupt, Pain-sama, and you are the one who will guide us, thought Conan calmly. Soon the Fourth Shinobi World War would begin and Akatsuki would execute its plan and lead the world to peace. Chapter 6. Training and Bonding. Jiraiya had seen many things in his life. He had been through 2 great ninja wars, had seen the best as well as the worst faces of the human race. He had seen how kind as well as cruel humanity was. During his long life he had met many people, some were good, some were bad, some were strange while some were outright evil. He had trained 4 students, 3 of whom had died in war. His heart still broke whenever he thought about those 3 magnificent kids whom he had trained during the Third Great Ninja War. But still he was a shinobi and he had to endure. He still believed that his 4th student Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage of Konoha, was the child of prophecy and was the one who would lead the world to peace. However, the Fourth Great Ninja War was on the horizon, nations were mobilizing their armies and there was no sign of peace anywhere. He was curious as to why he had been summoned to Mount Mayaboko. There were not many times when he was called by the Toads. It was mostly when the Great Toad Elder had to make a prophecy. That thought alone made Jiraiya nervous. Whenever the Elder made a prophecy, the entire shinobi world would change, for better or for worse he was not sure about. Standing in front of him were Fukasaka-sama and his wife Lady Shima. They both were the most senior Toads in the entire Toad clan after the Great Elder. They were also his teacher and partners in fighting. Why do you think the Great Elder has called me? Asked Jiraiya curiously. It is regarding the prophecy, Jiraiya boy, said Fukasaka sagely. Do any of you know something about it? Asked Jiraiya. If there was anything the Elder told someone, it was these 2. No, the stubborn old geezer just told us to summon you here. I bet he is getting more senile with each passing day, said Shima irritatingly. Shima didn't like the Elder Toad much, he was a stubborn old geezer. Although he was huge in size, he was a lazy old frog who just used to smoke all day. He used to blabber things from time to time, but since he was the elder they had to listen to him. Shima didn't like when someone interrupted her cooking, and this time the stubborn geezer had called her right during the middle of it. That had really pissed her off. "Ma, have some respect for the great elder," chided Fukusaka. "You, shut up," said Shima irritatingly. These two, thought Jiraiya tiredly, although both of them were strong and wise, but they always behaved like little children. Looking at the giant figure of the elder toad, another tired sigh escaped from Jiraiya's lips when he saw the elder sleeping off peacefully. He could have written his Ika Ika, Forest Edition. Millions of his fans were waiting, but no. He had to wait for a stubborn old geezer to wake up. It's going to be a long day. Minato and Naruto stood on the opposite sides of the training ground. Naruto had a serious look in his eyes, and Minato was happy to see that his son was not a person who would take his training less seriously. "Alright, Naruto, now since your mother has taught you how to access your chakra, I'll teach you how to control it," instructed Minato seriously. "Control my chakra?" asked Naruto confusedly. "Yes, in order to perform any ninjutsu or jinjutsu you need to first of all have a good control over your chakra. A jutsu is a combination of your physical and spiritual energy, and they are executed through the application of hand seals. In order to do that I'll teach you chakra control exercises," explained Minato briefly. Naruto gave a firm nod indicating he understood his father. He knew what he was getting was a great honor. Many people would give anything to get training from the Hokage, Naruto knew, even though his father wanted to train him from the bottom of his heart. He was a Hokage and was specifically devoting his time in training him, which he could have used to help the village. "I have to live up to everyone's expectations," thought Naruto with determination as he remembered what his mother had said about everyone in the village expecting great things from him. Konoha was his home, this was the country he was born in. He would do everything to protect his motherland and would become powerful to protect it from enemies. Minato saw the look in his son's eyes and a proud smile came on his face. His son was becoming a shinobi for the right reasons, and he had a great determination in his eyes too. "Alright, let's do this," said Minato enthusiastically. He then plucked a leaf from the nearby tree and handed it to Naruto, gaining a confused look from his elder son. "Tusan, what am I supposed to do with this leaf?" asked Naruto confusedly. Minato chuckled a little and ruffled his son's silky hair, earning a pout from Naruto. "Well, this is the first chakra control exercise which you will learn. It is called leaf balancing," said Minato happily. "Leaf balancing?" asked Naruto curiously and observed the leaf a little more closely. "Yes, this training method is done by placing a leaf over an individual's forehead and having them direct all their chakra onto the leaf, using it as a focal point. This is the first exercise that will help you in controlling your chakra. Make the leaf float with the help of your chakra." "Here, I'll show you," said Minato briefly. Minato then tore another leaf from the tree and put it on his forehead. He then closed his eyes in order to concentrate and show his son how it's done. Meanwhile Naruto was observing every minute detail of his father. He had watched how he had put the leaf at the center of his forehead, he could feel his father had now calmed his chakra. For a few moments there was nothing. But then something started to change. He used his sensor skills and was able to realize that his father was slowly sending his chakra to his forehead. Naruto closed his eyes to concentrate more, and now he could feel a blue aura radiating around his father's body, indicating the use of his chakra. He could feel a stream of his father's chakra slowly concentrating around his forehead. It was slow and very calm. He opened his eyes and was surprised when he saw the leaf floating a few feet above in the air. "I get it now," thought Naruto happily as he understood the entire exercise. Being a sensor rocks. "So, you see, it's done this way. Now you try it. But don't be sad if you aren't able to do it the first time," advised Minato. "You'll see, Tusan," said Naruto with a smirk and put the leaf on his forehead. He is a little overconfident, thought Minato tiredly, but he really was interested if his son could do it in the first time. Makoto had told him that Naruto had great observation skills, and if that was true then he would learn this exercise in no time. "Stay calm and focused. I'll send a stream of my chakra as a tidal wave," thought Naruto firmly. Minato started sensing chakra radiating from his son's body. He was quite surprised by the power of Naruto's chakra. It was firm and strong, he could actually see his son possessing a powerful chakra in the near future. Naruto was concentrating hard and had closed his eyes. "Focus," thought Naruto with determination and slowly started sending chakra to his forehead. What happened next surprised Minato to the core. leaf on Naruto's head started floating slowly above his forehead. At first it was 1, now 2, 3 and finally it was 5 feet above Naruto's forehead and was flowing effortlessly. He mastered it in the first time, thought a surprised Minato. Nice and easy, thought Naruto happily and continued the process. He was interrupted from his thoughts when he heard clapping. He slowly reduced his chakra and brought the leaf down slowly and caught it in his hands. He opened his eyes and was now face to face with his father, who was having a vibrant smile on his face. I'm really proud of you. You mastered it in the first time, congratulated Minato happily and gave Naruto a pat on his shoulders. It was nothing, Tusan, said Naruto sheepishly and scratched the back of his head. I admit this exercise is very easy, but even it took me a few minutes to learn it, while you mastered it in the first time. How did you do it? Asked Minato curiously with a smile. Naruto gave a small smile and decided to explain his father how he understood the exercise and its concept. I used my sensor skills in order to feel the way you used your chakra. You kept your chakra calm and concentrated it in a small proportion and used it to elevate the leaf. The key is not sending more chakra but in maintaining the flow, explained Naruto briefly. He indeed has a very keen sense of observation. Makoto-chan was right, our son is indeed smart, thought Minato proudly. So, you used your sensor skills to determine the exercise and its concepts. Don't you think it was cheating? Asked Minato skeptically. He really wanted to know what beliefs his son had on becoming a shinobi and as such was testing him. Not at all. Ka-chan told me that shinobi use every tool they have to complete their objective. My sensor ability is my tool, and if I use it for the greater good in protecting my precious people, then I don't think I have cheated, Tusan, said Naruto honestly. Very well said. Always use the tools you have, no matter how small or insignificant they seem, they'll keep you alive, said Minato sagely. Hi, said Naruto with a nod. Now, since you are very good at controlling your chakra, we will elevate your training to the next level, instructed Minato. What is it, Tusan? Asked Naruto curiously. He really was excited to see what new challenge his father had for him. Minato chuckled a little on hearing his son's curious tone. He then walked towards a nearby tree and started walking on it just with the help of his legs. Let's see you try this time, thought Minato with a smirk. At first Naruto was shocked when he saw his father climbing the tree, but then he calmed his nerves. Every jutsu and technique had a way, he just had to find that key. He knew it won't be easy, but if he could keep his cool he could surely find a way. Suddenly an idea popped in his head and he decided to try it. Minato expected his son to jump and cry out in surprise, but Naruto was acting strangely. His son had strangely come forward and had now put his left hand on the tree and had closed his eyes. Minato didn't know what Naruto was doing. What is he doing? Thought Minato confusedly. He observed Naruto. He was trying to focus very hard. It was as if Naruto was trying to find an answer from a tree itself. His son really was a strange one. Minato didn't know what kind of person his son was. He was totally unpredictable, and for a shinobi that was a good trait, as your enemy would never be able to estimate your moves. Minato observed Naruto for a few minutes. He hadn't moved from his spot and was in the same position. Naruto's face was hidden behind the face mask. So Minato was not able to see his emotions, but he could see that whatever his son was doing was something unique and something which Minato had never seen. After a few minutes, Naruto opened his eyes and a wide smile cracked on his face. It was as if he had cracked a jackpot. What's going on? Thought Minato in confusion. He was now sitting on top of the tree and was waiting for any type of response from his son. He could just have asked his son, but from his experience as Naruto's father, Minato knew Naruto had very unique skills and was very different from the others. He had learned to walk when he was only a few months old. Naruto had his own ways and Minato wanted him to find his own path. Naruto stepped a few meters back from the tree and stood straight. Alright, here we go, thought Naruto firmly. He then made the ram hand seal, and now Minato was really curious as to what his son was up to. WTF, thought a shocked Minato. His mouth was wide open and his eyes couldn't believe what they were seeing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Naruto had slowly climbed each and every step of that 15-feet tree without stopping or using any of his hands. He didn't falter, he didn't lose balance, he didn't stop, he didn't lose focus. He just climbed the damn tree itself in one single try. What is he? Thought a shocked Minato. He was shell-shocked on seeing his son standing right beside him, hanging upside down from the tree. The cool breeze was making his silky blonde hair flow freely. Naruto was relaxed. It was as if he had accomplished a daily task. Yo, said Naruto after some time as he realized his shell-shocked father was standing beside him with a shocked expression on his face. Yo! That's all you have to say, yelled Minato in shock. Eh? Tusan, said Naruto in confusion. He couldn't understand what was the big deal. Why was his father so shocked? You don't have a clue, do you? Asked Minato with a tired sigh. His son was really oblivious that he had mastered a Jounin-level chakra control technique in his first attempt. Minato could now clearly see that his son was a prodigy that came in ages. His sense of thinking, his calm behavior, his intelligence all very closely resembled that to the Naidame Hokage. Naruto really shared a lot of traits with Tobirama Senju. It was just a simple exercise, Tusan, said Naruto simply. He didn't know the truth. It was a Jounin-level chakra control exercise which you mastered, Baka, said Minato loudly, but he was very proud of his elder son. Really? Asked Naruto happily. Hi, said Minato with a wide smile. Yahoo, said Naruto happily and jumped from the branch and landed gracefully on the ground. Minato was quite surprised that his son had even used a chakra to land gracefully, despite being so much happy and excited. Scratch that, he is not at all like Naidame-sama. Oh sure Shui, your nephew has gone on you, thought Minato with a chuckle. Naruto Nikken. Naruto turned around and was soon knocked over the ground by a powerful push. He crashed on the ground with a thud. Ow, that hurt, man, thought Naruto with a groan. Naruto looked up and saw his younger brother Itachi sitting on his chest with a vibrant smile on his face. His cerulean blue eyes were boring into Naruto's soul. Figures, leave it to him to do something reckless, thought Naruto bemusedly. He brought his right hand forward and poked his younger brother in the forehead. Ow, what was that for? Yelled Itachi in discomfort and rubbed his forehead with his little hands. That was for dropping me on my ass, said Naruto with mock anger in his voice. Watch your tongue, Naruto-chan, came a stern voice. Oh, please anybody but her, thought Naruto fearfully. He really was afraid when his mother got angry. He had a nasty habit of swearing sometimes, and every time his mother used to give him a proper lesson. Itachi got a very devious smile on his face and decided it was payback time. Before Naruto could catch him, Itachi ran back towards Makoto quickly. Ka-chan, said a teary-eyed Itachi and ran towards Makoto. Oh no, thought Naruto fearfully. Ka-chan, Nikken said meany words to me, said Itachi so innocently. You little shit, said Naruto in shock as his brother just landed him in a deep mess. Makoto came forward and gave Naruto 3 quick bops on the head. OW, OW, OWW, yelled Naruto as he got a light bops on the head by his mother. Naruto-chan, how many times have I told you not to swear, said Makoto sternly. Payback is fun, thought Itachi happily and stuck his tongue out at Naruto as he watched his elder brother being scolded by their mother. I do wonder jumping on your older brother isn't always nice, said Minato from behind Itachi. Tou-chan, yelped Itachi in surprise and fell down. Now Itachi-kun, let's talk, said Minato with a devious smirk. Oh shit. The Namikaze family sat in a small circle in the shade of the trees of the training ground. Makoto had brought snacks for all of them as it was morning and she felt that the family must be hungry. Naruto and Itachi sat on the opposite sides. Both had a bump on their heads, though Naruto had slightly a larger bump. Both the boys were glaring daggers at each other as if saying it was the other's fault. Makoto giggled a little on seeing the reactions of both her sons, while Minato just settled for a small smile. So Naruto-chan, I'm really proud of you. You have done a very splendid job today, congratulated Makoto with a warm smile. Yeah, Nikken, now you were awesome, said Itachi happily. Naruto ruffled his younger brother's hair with a smile. Despite their little mischief, both of them really loved each other. I still don't get how you learned the exercise, Naruto, asked Minato curiously. Every jutsu and technique has a weakness. I just had to find the key to this technique, said Naruto sagely. That's all true, but I still don't get how you did it. I never explained the tree walking exercise to you in the first place, said Minato curiously. Naruto looked at his father. He had assumed his father had known what he was doing. Guess he was wrong, so he decided to explain it to him. His mother and brother were also looking at him curiously, both of them really wanted to know how he did it. I used my sensor ability, said Naruto simply and began the explanation. Explain, said Makoto curtly and Naruto nodded. I used my sensor skills in order to feel the life force of the tree. Every living thing has life force and chakra. I slowly realized the tree's life force. It was very calm and I adjusted and sent chakra to my feet in the same relative proportion as the tree's life force so that I can connect with the object without any difficulty. As a result, I never lost my balance as I was in perfect sync with the tree and reached the top. It was all about balance and maintaining control with the object, explained Naruto briefly. I wish I was a sensor, thought Itachi with a pout. He didn't understand what his brother had just said, but he was still amazed by the abilities that his big brother possessed. He really has very good observation skills and the ability to understand things better, thought Makoto proudly. He was right, he has the brains for taking part in a war and protecting the village, thought Minato proudly. Naruto looked at the amazed faces of his family members. His little brother was looking at him as if he was a god, his mother had a few tears in her eyes while his father had a proud smile on his face. You really are one of a kind, Naruto. Keep practicing like this and you'll soar high, said Minato happily. A small smile came on Naruto's face. This was what he always wanted. His entire family together with him, he knew his father had done so much for him today and he decided to say something which he had never said before. Thank you, Too-chan, said Naruto with a small smile. Minato's eyes widened when he heard that suffix. It had been so long since he had been this close to his elder son. He slowly went forward to hug Naruto. Naruto hesitated for a second when his father came close to hug him, but his mother gave him a small encouraging smile and he accepted his father's hug. Minato hugged Naruto tightly. Words couldn't describe how proud and happy he felt. He had such a good family, a lovely wife and 2 good sons. What else would a man want from life? He knew there was still a long way to go in improving their relationship, but he felt as if this was the first step. They broke the hug after a few moments. Naruto tried to give the best smile he could. He still was not comfortable so much, but for his mother and father's happiness he wanted to try. And the smile which both his father and mother had on their faces was well worth it. But then Naruto noticed something that made him a little sad. His younger brother, Itachi, was sitting in a corner. He was trying to give a fake smile, but Naruto knew his brother was hurt and was feeling a little jealous. You probably hate me, huh? Asked Naruto kindly. His voice was calm and quiet. It was as if he understood his younger brother and his feelings. Makoto wanted to speak something, but Minato put a firm hand on her shoulder. Minato knew both the brothers were sharing their feelings and it was not wise to interrupt. They would explain Naruto's situation to Itachi later. That's not how I feel, said Itachi quickly. It's alright, you can tell me your feelings, said Naruto gently. Itachi tried to speak something, but when he looked in his brother's kind eyes, whatever excuse he was gonna give just faded away. Father and mother only care about you, Niken, said Itachi sadly and dropped his head low. Makoto felt really sad when she heard that. She loved both her sons equally, both of them were precious to her. Thankfully Minato was standing beside her and telling her to keep calm, and Itachi was a small child. I'll let you in on a secret, whispered Naruto in Itachi's ears. What? Asked Itachi confusedly. The only one they always talk about is you. Even the villagers look up to you and talk about you, said Naruto with a kind smile. Really? Asked Itachi with surprise. Aye, and you can always count on me loving you because you and I are flesh and blood. I am always going to be there for you, even if it's just as an obstacle for you to overcome, said Naruto warmly and ran his hand through his shocked younger brother's hair. Naruto, thought Makoto and Minato happily on seeing the love between their children. Naruto really was a very good big brother. He didn't scold his younger brother, in fact he understood him and was trying to comfort him. Both the parents were proud of their elder son. He really was a good son. Niken, said a teary-eyed Itachi. Even if you do hate me, that's what big brothers are for, said Naruto happily. That was enough. Itachi soon jumped on Naruto and hugged him more tightly. Tears were freely flowing from his eyes. He really loved his big brother. No matter what happened, he was always there for him, guided him, helped him, took care of him and always got him out of trouble. I don't deserve you, Niken said, a crying Itachi. Minato and Makoto had already came forward and had already hugged their younger son and were trying to comfort him. Nah, it's fine, I'm an awesome big brother, aren't I? Joked Naruto playfully. Hi, said Itachi with a small smile. Makoto came forward and picked up Itachi as he looked a little sleepy, while Minato stood by her side. She gave a light kiss to Naruto and thanked him for taking care of his younger brother. Naruto just waved her off and told her to take care of Itachi. "Ka-chan, you do love me?" asked Itachi tiredly. "Of course, I and your Tuchan love you too, silly. You are the star of our eyes," said Makoto with a few tears in her eyes. A contented smile came on Itachi's face, as Minato wiped away his tears and slowly he went off to sleep in his mother's arms. Makoto then waved goodbye and went towards the house while Minato and Naruto stayed back. "Tuchan." Minato turned around and was surprised to see a very stern look in Naruto's eyes. "What is it?" asked Minato curiously. "You do remember the promise, right?" asked Naruto seriously. "Hi," said Minato, clearly not understanding what Naruto was thinking. Naruto looked at the small form of his brother. He looked so innocent in their mother's arms. All the doubts which Naruto had before were now gone. He was sure of one thing now. "Itachi is going to be the bridge to peace. My job is to be the pillar that supports that bridge," said Naruto deeply. Minato's eyes widened when he heard those words. Was this really his son? He looked so mature and he had such a noble dream. It was as if Minato was looking at the main character of the book his sensei had wrote. Minato saw the fire which Naruto had in his eyes, and the amount of faith which Naruto had in his younger brother was astonishing. "Itachi is the savior of this world and I'll protect him with my life," said Naruto with determination and went off to continue his exercise. Minato was left behind. He was quite shocked and a realization had occurred in his head, one which he had forgotten about since the last time. "Naruto, are you the child of prophecy?"
That's everything for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe.